Today we're focusing on GPEN, and Commissioner Theriault has given you an overview of what GPEN has been able to achieve. I'm going to drill down into that a little bit more with some case studies about what we've been able to achieve in GPEN. We have, over the space of about 8 or 9 years now, been able to move from the policy, high-level ministerial statements to a practical, useful platform, IT, able to be used by case officers in authorities of around 64 different jurisdictions. And together with my colleagues from Canada, Hong Kong, Israel, and the US, so we've got Canada, US, Hong Kong, Israel, and the UK on the executive committee. We've been able to encourage authorities to think beyond their borders in a landscape where business is global, regulation should also be global. And I think with the impetus given to us by the ministers back in 2007, we've been able to really bring that to bear in the most practical sense. If you're interested in some more of the details that we're talking about today in relation to GPEN, GPEN does have a website, and that's the one which you see on the screen there. And we do now publish an annual report. We have one for the past year, 2015, and we're going to do that on a regular basis. So if you are interested in more details about what we explained today, then please do take a look. In terms of how we are looking at the relationships between authorities, you can have very high-level contacts between authorities. That's at the strategic head of authority level. But you also, to be able to actually create this effective enforcement across borders, need that contact between the case officers at the grassroots level. So this is really what we're trying to put in place, is something beyond the strategic contacts that commissioners have at the International Conference of Data Protection and Privacy Commissioners. GPEN is a separate entity to that conference, and many of you may have been to that international conference. But the two entities do work very closely together in many respects, and we are increasingly working together and communicating regularly on issues of common enforcement cooperation interest. But what I'd like to do is just to take you through some case studies of what GPEN has been able to achieve, building on the introduction that Commissioner Theriault was able to give you. And one of the key case studies there, which is the most illustrative, is what is known as the GPEN sweep. Now that, as has been explained to you, is where a large number of authorities, it's been around 30 authorities, so around half of GPEN's membership, come together on a common theme and decide to investigate the compliance of certain types of data control or organisation in relation to the national or local law that authority is responsible for. In 2016, we concentrated on the very topical issue of Internet of Things, so looking at wearable devices, looking at smart meters in energy usage, connected cars, and smart TVs, just to give a few examples. And each authority was able to choose its area that it wanted to concentrate on in that broad theme. And this year's sweep took place in April across the space of a single week. And it was able to, it allowed authorities to pick a variety of operators who were representative of the sector, and to be able to either contact them directly or to be able to test their devices and understand what kind of privacy communications that those operators were offering to users. Now, the full results will be available by September, but the first indications are that there are very many concerns amongst privacy enforcement authorities about the devices which are now being made available to consumers. When you think about the range of different sensitive information which can be accessed and monitored by these types of devices, ranging from very sensitive health information, location information, and all of this combined, there are some very big issues relating to big data and the purpose limitation which will come out of this. So do watch our website, the GPEN website, for and indeed the ICO and the other members of GPEN for news on the outcome of that sweep.